everybody, and welcome to Young Hero Rants, the show in which I rant about whatever aspect of the world is annoying me lately. I am your host, ThatKidDouglas, aka the Young Hero, the internet's loneliest D-list personality, and tonight we're going to talk about the missing mystery. This particular fanbrat of the mysterious Mr. Enter was so offended about what I said about him in my latest episode of The Guide to Surviving the Internet that she created an entire journal entry dedicated to moi, yours truly, which I'm incredibly honored to say exists. And I've read it a few times, and to be quite honest with you guys, I'm very disappointed in it, because quite frankly, she didn't do a very good job. But enough of my ramblings, let's delve into this head on. Take it away, boring voiceover man. Alright, so now we're going to break down this journal entry point by point. Let's get into it.
As the title implies, the young hero is a liar. He's lied about me and left out certain parts of our confrontation so that brainless fanboys of him and mindless anti-Mr. Enter stands will mindlessly follow him. Which doesn't really make a lot of sense because I only have 252 subscribers. I didn't know I had mindless fanboys. I thought you needed to be significantly bigger to have mindless fanboys. So the fact that I have mindless fanboys and I'm so small and insignificant is such an honor. It definitely boosts my ego and doesn't make me want to kill myself. This is fantastic. I have fanboys. That's just great. But in all seriousness, the first fail that you make your missing mystery is that you quickly label anybody, literally anybody that has a negative opinion about Mr. Enter as an anti-Mr. Enter stan. Oh boy. If this is evident of the rest of the journal entry, then we're not going to have a good time. Anyways, let's move on. Now, to the actual video. Wow, that was a bigger bomb than Fan Force Stick.
Seriously, you can't compare a video, a 24-minute video that was lazily and cheaply, I might add, made on Windows Movie Maker to a $120 million movie. It doesn't work like that. And by the way, not to toot my own horn, but my video was far better than the shitfest that was Fan Force Stick. Anyways, let's move on.
Here, I will only be addressing the parts about John Walker 123, Lenny Guy 34, and me because he spreads lies about all of us.
I found something worse than people sending death threats. 3 fanbrats.
Defending someone is worse than sending death threats?
Okay, here's the thing. I was showcasing an example of how bad most of Mr. Enter's fanbase was, and exaggerating the statement to make a point. I don't honestly think that defending somebody is worse than sending death threats. I was exaggerating there. When I was showcasing the examples, I showcased the fact that Mr. Enter fans were attacking a former writer of SpongeBob SquarePants, a man by the name of Casey Alexander. Secondly, I showed one of Mr. Enter's fans on DeviantArt saying that he wanted the people in charge of Viacom to get hit with a barbed wire bus. Thirdly, I said, I talked about, Mr. Enter fans starting a petition on Tumblr to try and get the Teen Titans Go writers to kill themselves. And lastly, I showcased you 3 fanbrats. I was showcasing an example to show how cancerous the fanbase you inhabit is, or at least most of it is. And I was exaggerating the statement to make a point. So, no, I don't honestly think that defending somebody is worse than sending death threat. Anyways, let's continue. Blah, blah, blah. He responded to a troll.
And do you expect him to leave bullshit unopposed?
I mean, okay, this is seriously the dumbest argument I've ever heard. I mean, you can't honestly use that excuse. It doesn't matter if he's leaving bullshit unopposed, theoretically. He still responded to an obvious troll, which is arguably one of the dumbest things you can do, and that's one of the cardinal rules of the internet. You never respond to trolls. Let me say that again. You never respond to trolls, ever. And he did exactly that. The only reason Kevin the Spudge said what he did is to garner a reaction because he knew Lenny Guy 34 and John Walker 123 were going to react in the way that he did. He set out the baits and they fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. So you can't use the excuse that they were defending your precious Lord and Savior as some sort of like an excuse for the fact that they were falling for blatantly obvious trolling. That's just incredibly dumb. Anyways, let's move on. He doesn't think ED is credible or accurate.
Then he says don't take it seriously. It's satirical. Thinking otherwise
Is taking it seriously, which exactly proves my point. You're taking it seriously. You're essentially taking something that was written on ED, and like I said in that video, ED is a satirical wiki, which is not supposed to be taken seriously. And here's what you're doing. And the next statement will prove that, is that you're taking it seriously, therefore proving my point. Like, did you honestly put any thought into this journal entry before you wrote it? Because this is just pathetic. Ugh. But he only said that because it spoke negatively about Mr. Enter.
Ron, the person who originally created the article was known for having a petty grudge against him, for stupid reasons. Most of the article itself was mainly insults and stupid jokes and assumptions. Doesn't scream credible to me.
Like I said in that video, ED is a satirical wiki which is not supposed to be taken seriously. And here you are, taking it seriously. Really? Really? Oh, and you say that the person that supposedly created the ED article has a petty grudge against the Linny Guy 34. And do you have any evidence to prove that's true? Do you? Seriously. Either you have evidence or it doesn't exist, because you can't say that the person that created the article supposedly has a grudge against the Linny Guy 34 and not prove any evidence to prove your point. I'm not just going to assume that that's the case. I'm going to assume that you're probably just lying to try and hold up this flimsy argument you have. Anyways, let's move on. He says he respects opinions, but attacks anyone who expresses a negative opinion about Mr. Enter.
Here's proof. Commentaries on anti-Mr. Enter stands.
Which is exactly what I'm talking about. You're just continuing to prove my point to be correct. You can't say that we just set other people's opinions and then attack people who are expressing a negative opinion about Mr. Enters, and there you go, labeling anybody that has a negative opinion about Mr. Enter as an anti-Mr. Enter stand, like you did to me. Seriously, this is not making me respect the Mr. Enter, and it's certainly not making me respect you. All it's really making you look like is a childish dipshit that can't respect other people's opinions. That's exactly why I said we're a fanboy, because you're so quick to label anybody as an anti-Mr. Enter stan. And this is exactly why people don't respect you. This is exactly why people have problems with Mr. Enter. It's partly because of people like yourself. Anyways, let's move on. He fell for the same troll. He considered calling the police.
You realize he was probably joking about the police part, right?
Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god. This is a fucking joke, right? It has to be. Seriously, this is just horrendous. This argument is already not very good to begin with, so you're trying to hold it up by saying that? It wasn't a joke. He was literally saying that he was gonna call the police if Kevin the Sponge 41 wouldn't leave him alone. You wouldn't say, oh, you're gonna call the police if it was a joke. How the hell would you think that's actually a joke? Oh my god, the stupidity is warping my brain. I think I'm gonna have an aneurysm. Anyways, let's move on. Not everyone in Mr. Enter's fanbase is like him.
That's a shame. John Walker123 is a level-headed fan. He did a commentary on a guy named Gonzo22 who was simply expressing his opinion. The guy's grammar sucks, but it's just his opinion. Ron Walker123 is also just expressing his opinion. By your logic, your video is harassing us. Hell, you criticize Gonzo22's grammar. Oh wait, you're an anti-Mr. Enter stan, so double standards and hypocrisy should be expected by now. Also, I must point out, John Walker123 and Linny Guy 34 don't watch him much anymore. Maybe not at all nowadays. Okay, I'll give you that. John Walker123 is expressing his opinion, and I'd be a hypocrite to say that he can't express his opinion while I'm saying the stuff that I'm saying. Yes, everybody is allowed to express their opinion, and he is expressing his opinion. But it still doesn't negate the fact that what he said, saying that he respects other people's opinions, is a load of poppycock when he went out of his way to attack somebody that was simply expressing their opinion. And yes, I'll agree, the guy's grammar wasn't very good. I'll admit that.
But it still doesn't change the fact that he was simply expressing an opinion, and he was attacking him for expressing his opinion, simply because it spoke negatively about the mysterious Mr. Enter. That's what I was saying. And again, you label me as an anti-Mr. Enter stan and saying that I'm being a hypocrite and I have double standards. When I'm saying right now that he can express your opinion, you're allowed to express your opinion, anybody can express their opinion. So you can't say that I'm having double standards and I'm a hypocrite when I'm saying this right now. Oh, and the fact that they don't watch it much anymore, that was the same excuse that I got when I was making this video. But they still responded to the guy, so that doesn't negate it. Anyways, let's just move on. She's arguably the biggest fanbrat, and she has a collection called The Void. It mostly consists of people talking negatively about Mr. Enter.
First of all, you don't know what a fanbrat is. Secondly, if that was the case, every single Mr. Enter rant would be in the collection, and it's not.
Okay, where did I say that every Mr. Enter rant in existence was in this collection? I didn't say that. Oh, you even say that it mostly consists of people talking negatively about Mr. Enter. So you're basically, what you're doing to support your flimsy argument is that you're taking what I'm saying out of context to make me appear to say things that I didn't, just to support your shitty argument. I never said that. I mean, come on. You can't call somebody a liar when you yourself are a fucking liar. I never said that. And by the way, a fanbrat, that's a coin I termed for a fanboy and a fangirl. It's literally just another way of saying fanboy or fangirl. That's what fanbrat is, you literate. Oh my god. Alright, let's just finish the rest of this journal entry before I completely lose my mind. Gotta like Mr. Enter, or you're a hater. You're a stan. He actually says stan.
What? Either get a better mic or do retakes.
Okay, either you didn't watch my video closely enough, or your listening comprehension skills are shittier than Bill Cosby when he's being intimate to women. Anyone that's watched that video can clearly hear that I'm saying stan. Stan. Jesus Christ. Seriously, I'm starting to question if you really even watched my video at all, because, really, I say stan. Everybody can clearly hear that I'm saying stan. Oh my god. Anyways, look, my journal is in there. All I did was express my opinion.
No, it's there because you lied about what happened in the comments when people can see otherwise. But your brainless fanboys and fangirls will believe you anyway. You first called me a fanboy.
And there's a reason I called you a fanboy. Because you're acting like a fanboy. Blatantly attacking anyone that has any differing opinion about your Lord and Savior, about someone that you like and respect. And look, if you like the mysterious Mr. Enter, that's fine. I don't give a shit. You can like him all you want. But it still doesn't negate the fact that you're a goddamn fanboy, or fangirl in this case. And I have nothing to hide. You're the one that took what I said out of context to make it a big deal when it shouldn't have been a big deal. And to basically say that my audience is a bunch of brainless fanboys and fangirls? No, I was doing research for an episode in a series about internet and pop culture. I wasn't trying to hate on the guy, I was doing research. Jesus fucking Christ. You are honestly stupider than a box of rocks, and that is an understatement. Anyways, let's just finish this. This is childish. There are people that don't like Mr. Enter. Making a collection is stupid, and you look like a fanboy.
Again, my problem is people mindlessly hated him, not critics. Some of my friends don't like Mr. Enter, but they're not going around attacking him or his fan base.
Again, the problem is that you're trying to lump in the people that are supposedly mindlessly hating him with the people that have legitimate criticisms. You have a problem with the exact same thing. So you can't say that you don't have a problem with people hating Mr. Enter when you have a collection of journal entries of people talking negatively about Mr. Enter. You fucking hypocrite. You can't just say that and then say something else that completely contradicts it. Really? God damn it. Anyways, let's just finish this. This is the Mr. Enter fanbase, the culture of bullying and harassment.
Defending Mr. Enter from haters is bullying? Yeah, okay. Again, you're attacking us, so that makes you a bully.
Oh, this fucking argument. So because I express my opinion and say that most of Mr. Enter's fanbase, I didn't say all, but most of them are cancerous, and most of them create a culture of bullying and harassment, I'm bullying you. That is rich, man. When Mr. Enter made a video in which he publicly attacked a writer of SpongeBob SquarePants and personally insulted the guy, that's not bullying. When you have fans that create a petition on Tumblr to try to get writers of an animated series to kill themselves, that's not bullying. That's not bullying. When he makes a video in which he depicts a Nickelodeon executive getting tortured like a child, that's not bullying. But when myself and other people make videos where we have legitimate criticisms about the guy, that is considered bullying? Really? Seriously, get over yourselves, you childish, pathetic, overly sensitive crybabies. That's right, I called you crybabies because that's what you act like. Like, this is ridiculous. Do you honestly think that anybody respects you for this? Do you honestly think you're doing some kind of noble thing here? No, nobody respects you. If anything, people are sitting back and laughing at you because of how idiotic you're acting. You come off as an asshat. I'm sorry, no. You are an asshat because you randomly attack people for having any sort of dissenting opinion about Mr. Enter. And look, I get it. That's your opinion. If you like the guy, if that's how you truly feel, that's fine. And I make YouTube videos to entertain and to make people laugh. Yeah, but after that, I go outside, I walk, I have adventures, I hang out with my friends, I spend time with my family. What you do is that you spend your time mindlessly attacking people. And for what? Because they don't like someone you like. I know that doesn't seem fair, but life isn't fair. Not everybody is going to like what you like. And by you doing the stuff that you're doing, all you're really doing is reducing yourself to being an internet lolcow. And trust me, if there's one thing you don't want to be, as evidenced by people like Chris Chan and DSP, you do not want to be an internet lolcow. Trust me. And it's truly sad because I do realize that not everybody in Mr. Enter's fan base is like this. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of level-headed, calm, rational people. But it's just the fanbrats and the overly zealous and oversensitive and quite frankly insane people that make the entire fan base look bad. And it is unfortunate. It really, really is. And And by the way, I just simply asked if you were a fanboy. You were the one that took what I said out of proportion to make this whole thing a big deal when it really shouldn't have been. So, and I wasn't trying to attack the guy. I wasn't trying to insult him. I was just trying to do research for a series to entertain people. And seriously, it's all here. I've got nothing to hide. I mean, look, I rest my case. Don't call someone a liar when you yourself are a liar. And honestly, if you're going to roast someone in the future, then you need to do a lot better than this, because, quite frankly, all you're really doing is making yourself look like an idiot. And I don't care how many insults or arguments or excuses you throw at me, you still come off as a childish dipshit when you do things like this. That's all I gotta say. This is ThatKidDouglas, aka the Hero, signing out. Deuces. Stay frosty and keep it weird. Take us home, Filthy Frank.
My nigga, you just got roasted! Yeah! My nigga, you just got roasted! Yeah!